Welcome to A Home That Heals. I am so excited to be with you today. I'm Dee, and this is my daughter Bree. And A Home That Heals is all about finding those ways that God has given us to live the abundant life that everybody wants, but can be awfully hard to figure out sometimes. And in my season of life, as a retired person, it's got new challenges. And last time, Bree was talking about multi-generational living from the standpoint of big cost savings for her side of the family. Well, I wanted my turn because she kind of surprised me with the huge number that she shared. You can catch the link here and go back to that and see that the financial savings have been huge on her side of the equation. But as I thought about it after, I thought, you know what? The savings have been huge on my side too. And so I want to give you my rundown of why multi-generational living is such a great way to live your life as a retired person or someone who is in that season of life. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. You know, one of the things I'm all about is having purpose. And I think that this lifestyle has given me and your dad such purpose in life. Now, not that you can't find that in other ways. I mean, you know, we all have our own thing, but to be really plugged in and really living close by so that you can see the needs as they arise, or you can figure out ways you can plug into the fun even.
Or you can get those phone calls, Mom, I need you, please.
You feel so needed.
So needed.
So needed is a really nice thing. But you know what? Being needed, being wanted, being included is... wow, I think that's a real challenge for a lot of older people. Loneliness, and I almost get teary when I think about it. Loneliness is such a precursor to mental health issues in older people. And if you can find ways to really be vital in this kind of a multi-generational relationship, it doesn't mean that, you know, we all have the same gifts to bring to the table. In our case, we were talking about this. We share the value of hard work. We like hard work. I love physical labor. And so I don't mind cleaning out the chicken poop, the chicken coop, the alpaca poop, and all that kind of stuff. I really like physical labor, but maybe that's not your thing. But that is one way that I can kind of contribute in a real practical sense that makes me feel like I'm in it and able to be shoulder to shoulder with my grandkids while we're doing some of those chores. And then, of course, there are those late night phone calls when it's been a hard day and you need somebody to talk to. And I'm just down the little lane that we have here. And that is also really great. So purpose-driven life at this stage is a huge benefit of multi-generational living. Yeah. But there's also, you know, the other aspect of it, and that is the mental and the physical. And I kind of touched on it, mental and physical benefits. But physically, I think when you're around younger people, especially if you're watching little kids or teenagers,
you gotta be able to run.
Or at least be more physically active. And I have a phrase that I've just made these guys sick over, you know, because I say it so often, but sometimes they'll tell me, especially my son-in-law will say, oh, you don't need to do that. Like if I have a wheelbarrow and I'm going somewhere, and I say, yes, I do. Cheaper than a gym membership. I kind of have quit saying it quite so much.
I caught myself.
Oh, no.
I caught myself the other day out and about, and I said it. I was like, oh, my gosh, I'm becoming my mom.
Yeah. But it's true if you think about it. Not that I don't think gym memberships are a good thing. I used to manage a health club, several of them actually, when I was younger. Those are great, too. But you know what? Pushing that wheelbarrow, pulling those weeds, you know, picking up a little one, just the lifestyle kinds of things you do when you're around younger people can really be good for you physically and, as I said earlier, mentally too.
Well, I was, as you were saying that, if you're listening to this, watching this and thinking, but I physically can't do those things. Mentally, you still can pour into kids. Sitting down in a rocking chair and reading to kids, do you know the benefits that has for a child, for them emotionally, physically, mentally? They are huge. They are invaluable. So this doesn't have to look the way we're talking about it looking for our family. That's what is so awesome. And a lot of you were commenting when we did our podcast, which we'll link below, on multi-generational living. We got so many comments of people who were living like this. Looks totally different than our lifestyle.
Yes.
Beautiful. Awesome. It is so great. That is what we are all about here on A Home That Heals. You were made for this. God created you. He created your family. And the way it's going to look for you might be completely different. But it doesn't mean that you'll miss out on the same benefits that you're talking about right now. So,
and when you say the
side
thing,
note, but those
well,
are
that's
huge.
a great side note. And when you talk about sitting with a little one on your lap, you know, one of the things I remember thinking about when I was helping out when the kids were really little, and that is that as you get older, you have less physical contact with other human beings. If you lose your spouse, you know, you lose that physical contact. As you just, it's just natural. You know, I've always been a big hugger. You know, I love a good hug. But when I had those little guys close, you know, that physical contact is really wonderful for your mental health too. So all the way around, it, whatever it looks like, it can be really good in both of those ways. But I've got to come full circle now to this financial benefit that you mentioned.
Okay.
And I felt a little bit like, you know, you said you felt maybe you're going to have to write me a big check at the end or whatever, but I thought, no.
I was worried, but she didn't ask for a check at the end of the episode.
No, because I realized that the financial benefits for us have been huge too. Because all of those things that we have shared costs on, like the lawnmower, the truck, you know, just the things that we've bought that we've been able to share with you and vice versa. Actually, I think we've benefited. I mean, that truck was a big expense, and that was them. I borrow it and use it and appreciate it, you know, so much. Fill a gas tank once in a while, but those things really help you have maybe make the most of your nest egg, because I think all of us, especially these last couple of years with inflation so high, oh my goodness, it's just expensive to live. And I think, you know, we tried to plan really well for our retirement, but we had no idea groceries were going to cost what they cost now, or gas, or all those other things. And so trying to find ways to leverage each other and make our dollars stretch further, that has been really important. And it's been a really beneficial thing. You know, that nest egg can only go so far, but cost sharing can really help bolster that. So I think those would be my three things. You've got, you know, your purpose in life. You know, you really are plugged in and you feel like you're needed and that you are essential. You know, as long as you want that, you know, that's a great thing. And then also the mental and physical benefits probably save you, speaking of financial, probably save you a lot of money on medical costs if you stay active and healthy. And then, of course, there is that financial side of it. Just bottom line, sharing is always better. And there are so many different ways people are now setting up their homes to do this, or their property, or, you know, whatever. But it's undeniable that you can really help save yourself some big bucks doing this.
Well, and I would encourage you too, if you're watching this, on the last video, we shared that just my family alone, which we have 4 kids, so we are a larger family, we saved over the past 10 years that we've been doing this at least $300,000 in childcare costs. And so perhaps that multi-generational living relieves that huge expense for you. And, you know, say you even break it down to, you figure, like right now, I believe in Idaho, the average childcare cost is $1,100 a month.
And I've heard up to $2,000.
I know,
so
that's
it really
average.
varies. Yeah.
It does vary. And so if you have a family member or a grandparent that is blessing you with relieving those costs, maybe you can bless them too. Maybe they aren't in a financial spot to be able to do that without some sort of compensation. But to be able to give them a stipend, you know, so they can go do some of the things that they would love to do, or be able to eat out, or go to the movies, or do those types of things that they just financially can't do on Social Security or whatever, you know, retirement alone because of inflation costs, you could really be blessing them, but you wouldn't be spending $1,100, $1,200, you know, $2,000 a month. It just all around can be such a benefit and such a blessing to each person in your family. So I hope you were encouraged by this video. That is our goal. We just want to encourage and equip you to be reminded that you were made for this. God created you. He created your family. And He gives us these God-given principles that are honestly very, very simple. They aren't always super complicated, that we can use to heal our homes, heal our families. And if this encouraged you, then would you subscribe and keep following along on our journey? And if you figured out somebody that you want to try this lifestyle with, send it their way. Or maybe you know somebody that's struggling financially and trying to figure out how to make it all happen. Would you send these videos to them? Perhaps it's just what they need.
Oh, we're glad that you spend the time with us. Thank you for that. And we'll see you again next time here on A Home That Heals.